Welcome to the Northern Knits Podcast. We're two friends in fiber who knit, craft, crochet, and talk everything in between. My name is Jocelyn, and my co-host is
Diana.
in the reference to somebody left the sauna door open, and it is 40 degrees with the humidity today here in Winnipeg,
So
Manitoba. My
gross.
hair is in a crown braid. I am no sleeves, and I am melting to death. I'm melting. I want ice cream so bad. I want something
So
cold.
sorry.
Oh my god, it's
I'm
so
so
hot.
sorry. We got our air conditioning fixed and I'm still here in a tank top and shorts.
Oh, it's the 70-80% humidity that's killing me. Like if we were
Oh
a
God, yeah.
dry heat
It's not
and we were
so
just like sitting in
bad.
the 30s, like it's hot, but you're not like underside of Hades balls hot. But
Yeah.
oh, this is just miserable weather. But don't worry, the tiny dictator had her chilled, shredded beef and gravy for lunch today, right out of the fridge. Tidy Cats is a brand of wet cat food I like to feed her. They hand pack their food. I don't know why that's important for me to know. But they do have a very high quality wet cat food, which I really, really like. And it's very kind on their stomachs, which is very important because heat is hard for cats. PASA, cats don't pant. They cannot release heat that way.
No.
So they're prone
Just
to overheating. So my monster has
toss
her
her in a
ice
tub.
packs. Well,
I'm
I've
sure
got
she'd
the
love that.
she does sleep in the tub when it's hot. Because the cast iron keeps the cold longer.
I
Yeah.
was thinking more like throw her in a bath, but like, yeah.
I'm not bathing her. She doesn't like baths. We play in our water dish. We sleep in the tub, and I need to make some thin covers, like pockets for ice packs, because she'll put her paws on ice packs. Like I've taught her to put her paws on ice packs, because then it pulls the heat out of the bottom of her paws, and they only
Ah,
release heat out of the bottom of their paws and their ears. So I that's why you take a cat's temperature by checking their ears, right? So I
huh,
check her ears and I make sure she has ice packs throughout the day. I make sure the human has ice packs throughout the day too. Like the human
good, good.
also encourages all this. Diana has also bought me a fancy device that I don't wear on screen because it sticks out over the top of my shirt. It's a little metal tube that sits between the girls, but it keeps my whole core much cooler than when I don't have it in. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's
I'm glad
nice.
it works.
It works so well. It's weird.
$7 well spent.
It is weird how well that thing works. Or like if the middle of my back's really hot, like I'll pull it out of the front of my shirt and I'll stick it down the middle and stick it in my bra strap and then just lean back against a chair. Oh yeah, it feels so good.
I'm glad it's working.
It's just the dumbest thing ever sitting in my freezer next to my bananas.
Whatever works is probably better to use than a frozen banana. So
Yeah, it fits down the front of my shirt a lot better than a frozen banana would, that's for sure. It's much smaller.
I'm sure there's some
Uh,
jokes in here, some untoward jokes
oh,
about bananas.
has to be. There just has to be. So my hair is in a crown braid and I'm melting. So I'm drinking lemonade because I'm melting. Minty.
Fair. I made myself a molasses drink, but I got a little fancy today.
Ooh.
By molasses drink, I mean it's a couple teaspoons of molasses in hot water, but I got a little fancy and I added some vanilla extract and cinnamon and a little bit of milk.
Yeah.
It is like if gingerbread was a drink. I need to work on the spice ratios a little bit, but
Okay.
it's like drinking a gingerbread cookie. It is so good.
Okay.
I'm
You
so
work on
happy.
you work on those ratios and then you email that to me because I feel like as friends, you can't not share that. That breaks the friend code. Like I require this information.
I'll have to get some like actual gingerbread spice. Well, I have all the co constituent parts of gingerbread spice. I just need to like, mix them together and then add some of that because it needs just like a little bit of ginger and like maybe just like a touch of like the tiniest hint of like black pepper.
Oh yeah, that would be nice. And I'm assuming you're
Just like a
using
little bit
blackstrap
of spice.
molasses.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
For the iron content.
It helps. And I will
It
take everything
helps.
that helps. I will take everything that helps. I know because I've been
Because
doing it for the
iron-rich
last
foods
couple
and me do
months.
not get along, hence iron deficiency. Yay!
All right. I don't have a lot in the way of projects.
No,
It's
me
too
neither.
dang hot to knit. It's just too dang hot. I mean, I still have more than you, but duh.
Yeah, I may have suddenly remembered how close it was to doing the next craft off vote, and I may have focused on a thing I can't talk about for a while. So there's that.
Well, I'll talk about my crochet bag because I've been making this granny square bag. and it's listed as an intermediate crochet. And I was like, probably because of the handles and the assembly. I'm correct. The assembly flew by nice and smooth. I got a bag, and I'll see
Mm-hmm.
here. Got a nice little Percy bag going on.
Looks very nice.
Very cute. We're made out of beautiful pink squares of superwash merino held double. And we're held together with some acrylic gray worsted, which I think is burnout premium. No idea on the pink. Like the pink may honestly be woolly mammoth. I just don't remember. I just don't remember at this point. But you need 13, it's a free pattern. You need 13 granny squares, and then you assemble them according to a chart and or written instructions. She does both for free. Then I did the top detailing, which is just going around and making the top look pretty. So now I got to do the handles. And oh my God, these handles. I know why this pattern is marked
Uh-huh.
as intermediate now. I have now attempted the handle 6 times and I'm still not understanding something. So I'm going to
Oh no.
rewatch the video and try again because I get frustrated and then I stop listening, right? Like when we get mad, we don't listen. So
Yeah.
I put it down and now I'm not quite so grumpy about it and I'm going to try again because I would really like to have the handles done. And I'm thinking I'm going to lay this out on some of my leftover black rose fabric and whip up a quick lining
Ooh,
to sew to this bag so that it doesn't stretch out.
that'd be good.
I'm thinking that's going to be the next step. I mean, it's an added step. It's not necessary, but I like the idea of like the inside of my bag being a rose print, black rose print
That'd be
fabric.
lovely.
I think that'd be very cute. So I'm going to probably do that next.
Is
However,
this where I point out that dark fabric on the inside might make it hard to find things?
you know what? White fabric on the inside doesn't help me find things either anymore.
Oh, okay.
So we're just going for aesthetically pleasing at this point.
Okay. Carry on.
Because
Don't let
for
me
my
be voice of
eyeballs,
reason.
don't care anymore. So cool beans. You're not wrong. If I wanted to look inside my bag, I would have to be a lighter lining. This is a purse. It's meant to hold a wallet and a essentially my wallet, my keys, two of my purses. Like I got two of those little mini pouch bags, like all little kids collect.
Hmm.
And one holds Kleenexes and a face mask for when you're in a face mask situation. And the other one holds lip gloss, my earbud charging container, like my earbud pod container when
Hmm.
I'm out, and literally a small notions tin for my knitting stuff,
So regular
and
purse stuff and a
regular
small
purse
knitting
stuff.
project.
And then I can I throw in a small knitting project, like my sock or something, right? And my spray, my what's that antibacterial spray?
Oh, the hand sanitizer?
Hand sanitizer. I have a little thing of
Yeah.
hand sanitizer, so that's all I need it to hold. That's all a purse ever holds for me. So like this is fine. Plenty big. Plenty big. I do kind of want to make some more of these granny square ones, but like the traditional tote versions for market bags.
Okay.
And do the same thing, line them, but line them with a lighter fabric, right?
Hmm.
And do them in an acrylic. So when you have to wash them, because you have to wash your market bags,
Yeah.
I can just toss them in the washing machine, right? Like I can throw them in and treat them roughly and they won't care.
Yep.
But I'm thinking I need to make some more. I need more totes, guys, more bags incoming. However, until I get the handles figured out, that purse is stalled. And I know it's me. Like I'm reading the instructions and something is not computing between the chair and the computer, and it's the human. It's the human between the chair and the computer that's causing the problems.
Ah, your classic PEBCAC. Problem exists
Yes,
between keyboard and chair.
it is the classic PEBCAC issue. So until my brain has wired itself correctly and figured this out, because I know I'm reading it, I know I'm doing something wrong, because at some point it's going to click and I'm going to be like, that is so dead simple. Why did I not get that? I'm overthinking it. But that is a thing I worked on. I have 3 other things I can talk about. Shall I keep going?
For at least one more, yeah.
Let's do a check-in. Let's do more crochet. Let's talk about blanket. Because nothing says summer crafting like a blanket. I mentioned I
In
get grumpy
40
when they're
degree
cold
heat?
in
Absolutely.
40-degree heat. All right,
Let's make a blanket.
let's make a blanket. The countdown to Halloween continues. rows. We have 67 days left. I posted it as a recording, and we're recording on the Sunday. So I haven't done today's 2 rows yet, but I have many rows, many rows of beige stripe, color stripe, beige stripe, color stripe, beige. You get the idea. It's a double row of beige and a double row of colors. I do this so that you get a stripe instead of the pop of color from the clusters. I have been weaving in my ends as I go halfway, so like I'm crocheting in and then I just have to go and do a little quick zip to finish it off. So I
Yeah.
am also almost half finished the finishing details. What I have
Nice.
started to do is we are now wide enough to comfortably go across my shoulders, which means if I lay on the bed with this sideways, my boobs will fit underneath it.
Important.
Important. So I have the width I need. Now we're just adding like my width in half is still half a screen. I'm not a small human. So now I've started the lengthening process so you can see a nice corner developing here.
Nice.
For anybody unfamiliar, this is a corner to corner blanket. So you do your increases by increasing when you start and increasing when you increase each time you flip your work. Then to add length, you increase only on one side and you don't on the other. And then when I'm ready to make my opposite corner, I will decrease on both ends to close it up, which makes this wonderful sideways stripe pattern when you stripe it like I am. All acrylic, all scraps. This is a part of the scrap busting. Oh my God, I need to use up the things in my space before we make a massive order because
Uh-huh.
I've narrowed down my options to 6 and I got to get rid of like 4 more. So we may be contemplating an order. However, we make progress. We continue. There's not a lot to talk about, guys. It's a striped. We're counting down to Halloween. Alt Knots is hosting a crochet along. She has an amazing pattern that you can purchase, which has got a corner to corner color work on it. And if you're into retro Halloween looks, like a Goosebumps vibe, right up there. I'm just grateful that she said we could join in on the fun if we just wanted to do a striped corner to corner. She acknowledged that not everyone's going to be into that picture. Picture doesn't fit my vibe for my apartment, but handcrafted blankets sure do.
Heck yeah. It's a
Heck
fun
yeah.
picture,
Also,
but yeah.
God, I'm running through my scraps like crazy doing this, and it feels so good, so good
Excellent.
to use up my scraps. I'm almost done my second partial ball of burlap tweed, which is my beige stripe. Then there's just 2 full balls left. So,
Nice.
and my blanket bag where I shoved a whole bunch of stuff and extras into is already half empty because of the colors disappearing. So
Perfect.
stoked. So happy.
So productive.
Well, like it's 2 rows in the morning, right? So like I listen to the news, do a podcast like Betwixt the Sheets or After Dark and Gone Medieval. Like by the time I've listened to the morning news and done that, I've done the 2 rows. And I was gonna listen to those things anyway, so it's a nice way to start my morning. It's like you and spinning in the morning.
Yeah, it was great while I was doing it. Now I do go sit outside in the morning and like take something with me,
It's good.
but
Doesn't have
yeah,
to be spinning. It's just
doesn't
gonna
have
be
to
a
be spinning.
thing.
Just a little crafting in the morning is just it's really nice. It's a nice chill way to start the day. Get yourself in a good mindset.
Yeah, enjoy your cup of tea, chill.
Coffee in my case, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've already been up for like an hour and a bit before I even sit down because, like, you gotta feed the cat, do the yoga, make the breakfast, eat the breakfast, put on clothes sometimes. Sometimes I don't bother. Sometimes I craft and then I put on clothes. And that also happens when listening to the radio morning program.
Mm.
I'm secretly, not so secretly, 85.
Not secretly at all, I think.
Not secretly at all. All right, it's your turn because I have now talked about 2 of the 4 things.
All right. I will talk about my sock from the thumbnail. It's so bright, it's gonna blow out all the colors on the camera now.
Oh God, yeah, hey.
So while doing the show notes for this sock last week, I discovered that Sea Panda Yarns, the wonderful dyer of this incredibly bright, happy sock yarn, is going out of business. So if you want your own incredibly, needlessly, delightfully bright sock yarn, get on that because she's closing up shop at the end of October.
Hmm.
I believe the purple yellow one is Supernova. God, that's so
Yes.
bright. I don't know what the highlighter greeny yellow color is. It was a mini that I got to go with it, because the center of the yellow has a little bit of it in it, a little bit of the greeny yellow, and and it's spiraling. I'm so happy that the yellowy stripe is just spiraling up the foot. I got the heel in this week, so now it's just a race up the leg. It's going great. This is just absolutely delightful. Camera can barely even focus on this thing. It is too darn bright.
Yeah, I've seen it in person. I've seen it on camera. It is exceedingly cheerful, and I love it.
It's so bright. It's not quite this bright in person, I swear. But these are bringing me great joy right now. So that's my plain roundy roundy knitting with
Your
a
plain
fish
roundy
lips
roundy
kiss
knitting.
heel. I like the fish lips kiss heel. I'm loving the plain, I love plain knitting with fun yarn. That's my happy place right now.
Well, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that being your happy place.
Because if you do like fun knitting with fun yarn, then they sort of overpower each other, or you end up with something that's just like a little bit too fun to wear as much as you might want, because it's sort of situational. But if you do fun knitting with plain yarn or plain knitting with fun yarn, then you reach this happy middle ground where it goes with stuff.
I like fun yarn, but I don't like it to be, I don't like to lose patterns in it, so I tend to do plain knitting with fun yarn, but I like color changing, right?
Hmm.
However, if I'm doing something with a nice lace panel or a deep texture or something, semi-solids or solids all the way so that that pops. Just a
Yeah.
preference.
And that's my first thing.
Okay.
Your turn again, because of course you have more things than me.
I usually do, I promise. I didn't work on my sock. No, where did it go? Let's try that again. I didn't work on my sock. I thought about working on my sock. I thought about working on my sock so much. I stuck it in my bag of happiness because it's a bag that says bag of happiness. And I took it with me to the farmer's market this week thinking, well, if we sit down, I'll do some knitting. We didn't sit down, so I didn't do any knitting, but I did run across two I mean, beside my usual favorites, because of course I got, my regular loves, the Bannock ladies. The lady who does the homemade jars of jam. She's the one who has pickled
Mm-hmm.
watermelon.
Ooh, okay, that could
What's
be
pickled
interesting.
watermelon? I'm like, that could be fun to try. So, like, besides my usual favorites, I found two new booths. One is a does necklaces and earrings and custom pieces, and her business cards have little paper clips in different
That's
shapes. So
adorable.
I, of course, picked the cat. But I loved her pieces, and she carried stuff from other people as well. So she had little clay bowls that people would buy to hold jewelry or as soap dishes and stuff. And I'm like,
Hmm.
might have to find her to get a new soap dish for the kitchen.
Yep.
Might be a thing I need to do. So that was delightful. And then the other one I found has wonderfully anime themed stuff. So she does that beautiful jewelry, and I'll get Diana to link it in the show notes below for everybody, right? Like, because I couldn't pronounce that to save my
Nero's
soul.
Universe.
Yeah. So
Cute.
she does like food shaped earrings and
Oh.
and magnets with like cats that give you the face of F off. So like, she does
Hmm.
that level of kind of cute stuff, but she also had in can size, like pop can size, uh glasses, with painted on them. I looked at the strawberry ones, strawberries painted on them, with a lid with a silicone space for straw.
Ooh,
And I
okay.
happen to know two podcasters who love to spill their drinks all over the place. Sometimes don't want a massive beverage. Sometimes they want essentially the equivalent of a coffee milk size glass.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, maybe I have to
Well,
take a look at her stuff, right? Also, come on. Like earrings that say ditto. Like too
fun.
cute. Too cute. So I had to talk about those because that's what I saw. And of course, to keep track of the business cards, I shoved them in my bag with my socks, which has nothing to do with the project I need to talk about next. Oh my God. Let's talk deadline knitting. We all love a good deadline knit. We all love watching me stress a good deadline knit.
Absolutely. Bring it on.
A month
Love watching
ago,
you stress about a deadline knit. I don't want to stress about a deadline knit. Ah,
I was supposed to
Schadenfreude.
cast on and do the field sweater. Now, the field sweater is for Erin, Fireweed Fiber Co. And we're supposed to have it for the Manitoba Fiber Festival, which is literally just around the corner. It's like the 6th and 7th of September.
Yeah, like
Like
2 weekends from
literally
now.
2 weekends. Yeah. I
Uh-huh.
have a neck band, which is always for me the toughest
Okay.
part.
That's good.
And I've started my yoke. I'm
Good.
just about ready to do the patterning. Now, if you don't know the field sweater, it's got this beautiful like pearl bump pattern set into it. Obviously, I'm using Fireweed Fabrico yarn because it's for Erin. It's a sample for her. It's the colorway I'd like a fresh bowl, which you
It's a
can
good
tell was
color.
printed for Jocelyn because look at the size font on that bad boy.
Heck yeah.
When I order, they just kindly up the font content for me because they assume I don't need to know the type of yarn because I know what it is I've ordered, and they're not wrong. Uh,
You just need to know what color.
I just need to know the color. So I've read the instructions and I switched over to my larger needles. I'm getting gauge on a 5 millimeter. Not shocking, it's a DK weight, it's a non-superwash DK weight yarn. It is freaking gorgeous to work in. I enjoyed ribbing, which tells you how nice it is to work on this yarn.
That's
Ribbing is
saying
not my
something.
favorite. Ribbing is not my favorite. And in the instructions, the I want to say author, wrong word, right word,
Designer?
designer says over the course of the repeats to create the pattern, she recommends sitting down and trying to do as much in one go as possible so that you do not lose track of where you are. I do not disagree with her. So on Monday, during the workday, I'm going to sit down and try to get through the yoke pattern design. It's like 40 some odd rows, so it's not even that many rows. But if I can get to like a 20 and write down that I'm on row 20 and then go from there so that I don't lose the flow and do the next 20 on Tuesday, like that's probably going to be my best bet so that I can be past the armpits and through the body this weekend because I need a week to do the sleeves. Thankfully, Erin just needs a regular sized human body, so it's not that much sweater. I get to stop after the traditional amount of inches. I don't have to add 60 billion because it's not for me. But the sleeves do need to be
Does
the length
help.
of sleeves I need because that's the length of sleeves that Erin needs, which is why we can trade sweaters. And I just have a slightly cropped sweater, but the sleeves are still right. It's because Erin and I have the same wingspan.
That works out really well.
Very handy because I like to wear dresses. So if we go to shows, I can just pop on a sweater over top of a dress, and it's shorter, which looks cuter on dresses anyway than the longer
Hmm.
forms. And then I know the sleeves are going to fit me because they fit Erin. So it also means I don't need Erin here to be like, can you test to make sure the sleeve is the right length for you? I can just put it on my arm and then I know if I'm in the right space or not.
Perfect.
So either way, I have to crank out a sweater this week. I have to crank out body this week because next week I got to crank out a sleeves. Deadline knitting, yay!
Yay.
I was supposed to start last month and then it wouldn't have been a problem because I can absolutely do a DK weight sweater in a month. I have 2 weeks and we've proven I can do a DK weight sweater in 2 weeks. So I hope everybody wants one project because that's what I'm working on this week.
I mean, we would love to see a fully formed sweater in 2 weeks. That'd be cool.
I've done it before, so I know I can do it again. I've given everybody a sweater in 3 days. I'm sure I can manage a DK weight one in 2 weeks.
Just don't get distracted.
You say that now. Have you seen the pattern link for the Scotch broomstick wrap that got dropped today in Discord?
No, I missed that. Oh, I'm gonna have to go look after.
You're gonna have to go look at that after. I have one more thing to talk about, so you're up.
All right. I have been making progress on my summer solstice shawl out of my hand spun yarn. It is one of the curls patterns by Hunter Hammerson. I cannot for the life of me remember which one it is, but I think I'm about halfway through my ball of yarn. So I've got out of the blue green. We're now into green red, and then we'll be into red white. And I don't remember honestly what the color progression is after that. Maybe just
That's
red.
fine.
I don't remember. It was so long ago.
Ooh, no.
But I think
It
we're about
looks good.
halfway. I
It looks
haven't
good. I like it.
I haven't waited or anything. Um, this is just awkward to hold up because it's meant to curl like this. So it's got a straight edge and then the other edge is just really curly. But
Hmm.
look at this. It does doing the gradient thing like I hoped it would from the pure blue through all the colors.
It's looking really
And it's
good.
got elongated stitches, so it shows off the texture of the hand knit yarn, the hand knitness, the
Hand knit,
hand
hand spun.
the hand spun aspect of the yarn. Thank you.
You're welcome. Wait, wrong word, wrong word.
Wrong word, wrong word. But it's just turning out so great. So like this is gonna look
That's
great.
so good. That's gonna look so good. That's gonna look so good. Oh,
I'm
I'm so
so excited. I'm
excited.
gonna get this microphone out of this way here. Just it's so good. And it's so soft because it's superwash merino, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's soft and it's squishy. And I get distracted just petting it because it feels nice.
That's a good sign though.
I
So
unintentionally matched it to my shirt today.
next goal, doing enough hand spun for a sweater?
Yes. I mean, that is an eventual goal. I do not currently possess enough of any one fiber type except I do have that pound of something. The copper dyed one. I don't remember what the
I have
fiber
that
type
pound
is.
of
Never
something.
mind. I do have enough to make a sweater's quantity, but I want to get more consistent first before
Okay,
I tackle that.
some more shawls and hats then.
Yeah, do some more single skein things and make little accessories, and then I can tackle the sweater.
Absolutely. Oh, that looks so
A
good.
little more
I'm so
practice.
excited. So
It's so happy, and the pattern is lovely. It's a very simple 4-row repeat, easy peasy.
easy
So
peasy.
this has been my TV knitting this week. Eh. And of course that lives in the
Could
cute
you
little the
not
mushroom house
cause
bag.
troubles?
No, she must cause troubles. Stick that back in the mushroom bag. Mushroom bag.
For an older cat,
Cute
you're a
little mushroom bag.
menace. I'm sorry. Which one of the two of us put your footstool walk up? Up. Guys have a camera to wiggles. The cat's here.
Hi, cat. All right, that was my second thing.
All right,
You
last thing I
again.
have to talk about is my first white sweater out of the Karen Cake powdered snow I have. I'm still on the first ball. You can see we're definitely losing structural coherency. Um, we're a little floppy, a little
Mm-hmm.
loosey, a little goosey. So you're like, "Ah, you haven't made that much progress, Jocelyn. Are you sure?
That's a lot of
Are you sure?
progress.
I need to have 11-ish inches, and I'm pretty much there. This is a free pattern. It's called the Elsa Sweater. It's knit on a gauge of 15 stitches over 4 inches. So on my worsted weight carrying cake yarn, I'm using an 8 millimeter size needle to get gauge. Oh boy. And the last time we checked in, the stitch marker was way down there. And I've knit all this.
Nice. That is progress.
So I made some serious body progress. I'm going to double check my math, which will be technically like quadruple checking my math at this point. But I want to make sure that I knit to the right number of inches before I start the V-neck, because you start the V-neck shaping before you split for the sleeves.
Right.
So I need 4 inches. I need my body length total minus 4 inches from the armpit. That's how much this needs to be at. So I need to double check that. And then I'm ready to split for the V-neck. So that is making great progress, and I cannot touch it this week or next. Which, again, to be fair, in this heat, don't particularly want a worsted weight sweater in my lap.
All
So
right.
I'm happy to put that on hold for a little bit. But I most
Good call.
definitely
Good
do
call.
want to. Well, I need to get the field sweater done, and I would like to get the crochet bag done this week if I can. We will see how I do. But that's it for my knitted projects this week. Is those guys. Mostly because, again, like you, I have secret crafting going on. Like I'm crafting for the Advent partner.
Yeah, I'm
hmm
gonna
hmm
gonna have to get on that right away.
That's happening. I'm currently madly hunting for Halloween patterns for things I want to make for October. So like stuff's going on. Stuff's going on. So I'm still working on the Scrappy V. The Scrappy V is my check-in project with Louise this month. I've got our secret crafting, Louise's secret crafting, and I've got the Choose Your Own Adventure sweater work I'm also doing. So I'm busy. I'm
Mm-hmm.
busy. The Manitoba Fiber Festival is less than 2 weeks. I'm launching a Twitch channel.
You're
There's
doing
a
stuff.
lot going on in the background. My cat snorted at me, so she doesn't believe I'm launching a Twitch channel. Thanks for the belief. Love the support. Super appreciated. Cats, I tell you. I think all that leaves is some unscripted Patreon ads.
I have one more thing to talk about. If you
Do
give me
you?
just a moment, I will
Of
have a
course.
detached swatch. I have like 6 stitches left to cast
Oh,
off
right,
on
because
my
you were doing
swatch.
your swatchy swatch
Yeah,
of
as we've been
fuzzy mohair
recording.
goodness.
I've been wrapping up my mohair swatch as we were recording. I got two
Yeah,
stitches left.
because
One moment.
you needed what? Some sort of daftly few number of stitches over 4 inches.
Yes. Light and
Seven,
airy is the name of the
like
game.
7 stitches over 4 inches?
Something like that.
It's a very loose gauge. You're making gauze, not fabric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the bloom on this stuff. Okay, I just finished. Okay. So I've been swatching for the Anemone Sweater,
hmm
which is just like a basic raglan sweater, but it's done out of a few strands of mohair held together. Pattern calls for, I think, 3. I'm going to do it with 2 because I feel like it. And I have assorted greens and whites from Fireweed Fiber Co. I
hmm
have now swatched with assorted things all together.
So you can pick which one you like best.
Yeah. So I started out with the white and green marled together, and honestly, I like that quite a lot. But I also love the 2 greens held together. I'm less enthused about the whites held together than I thought I would be.
Okay.
And then the top stripe is vi just Vineyard at Nighttime held 2
Double.
strands of it together.
Okay.
And like it's not bad, but like I'm sort of inclined to do what green and marled rather than having a pure white stripe.
Yeah, of the two, I like the bottom two. If you were going to stripe, I would say the marled and then the green.
I wonder if I can fold this so that we can get the marled next to the white.
I don't think
One moment.
I don't think I'd like that as much.
Hold, please.
Please hold for talent.
All right. Well, you get sort of a gist. White next to
Yeah,
marled.
I like the green better with the marled.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
So, yeah, I think this just became a
Yeah,
solid green and marled
marled.
situation.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think, and this is why we swatch. We try out our stitch, or we try out our patterns.
absolutely. It's important. I'm very excited for that sweater to be casted on.
And then the question is for striping, do I do like thick and thin stripes? Are all the stripes the same width?
Do you vary it up and randomize it? I can't answer
So
that
more
question.
choices. I know.
You have to wear it, not me.
I know. So
Uh,
I have to give thoughts to stitches, and then I still obviously have to wash this and
mhm.
see what it does when I block it. But this feels lovely, and I don't think it's going to cause me issues. It feels soft. I think it won't bother me
Well, I mean,
unless my neck decides to be a pretty princess one day, as it does occasionally when I wear my wool sweaters, which are
and the
fine 99% of the
percent of the
time.
time, yes. It's like that one time.
And that
What are you
one
gonna do?
time, my skin's
Yeah,
just like, not today.
yeah. That's fine. That's the thing that happens with all this. I don't think you'll have a big problem with mohair. Because again, you're not gonna have it like up in your face. It's gonna be down around here and farther
Yeah,
down.
but like there's like a collar. This particular sweater has a fairly thick collar, so
Also, you're not really gonna be wearing it against a lot of your skin on its own anyway. That is a sweater you
yeah,
wear
it's
something
definitely over
on
top of something.
underneath. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much just the neckline is the only part that might
Okay.
be of concern, hence I'm rubbing
Okay.
it up here.
Well, yeah, but that's the
So I think as long
same
as I don't
with
get like
everything.
warm and sweaty, it'll be fine.
Okay. Then yeah, you should be okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm very
I have
excited.
swatched. This is what I have learned.
Excellent. I like it.
So
I like it a
perhaps
lot.
next time I will have the beginning of a mohair sweater.
That would be exciting to see. Or a finished
That would
choose
be
your own
exciting.
adventure sweater.
That's cute.
I know, aren't I just though?
It's adorable that you think that'll be finished in a week.
I am adorable. See, I got a hair curling, crown braid, and everything. Look, super maximum cuteness going on here today.
Absolutely. You need some flowers.
I do not have any fake flowers to shove in my hair.
Well, you should get some.
We'll keep an eye out.
It's like go outside and pick a dandelion or something, just for the effect.
Have you seen the neighborhood I live in? We don't really have green spaces just outside. I'd have to go walking for a while.
I don't know. I'm sure you can
I
find
live in a
one.
I live in a downtown core in a building with dogs. I'm not picking anything up off the ground anywhere near my apartment.
Touche. Okay, never mind. I retract my idea. It was a dumb idea.
Uh, so minimal amount of green space, many puppies.
Never mind. I retract that
I'll
idea.
I'll pass. Oh
Now
goodness. Okay,
I'm done.
now you're done.
Yep.
If you are a current Patreon member, we beg of you, if you've not gone and voted in the poll that was posted, please do so. These changes affect you. For everybody else, the prices we are listing will be the prices as of the 1st of November.
Yep.
Yeah. Woohoo!
Things be expensive.
Things be
Sorry.
spent. It happens. It's not fun. I don't enjoy doing it. It's a thing we gotta do, so we gotta do it. And like unfun things like going to the dentist as an adult. It's just a thing you get done, so it's over with.
Yep.
Yep. However, I love watching Diana try to cobble together a Patreon ad. So, your turn.
If you would like to financially support these shenanigans, you can do so at patreon.com/northernitspodcast. Any level of support gets you access to our patron-only Discord server, where we talk about all manner of things at all times of the day, because we span the globe.
We do.
So apparently there's some broomstick lace I need to look at in our
Mhm.
pattern links channel today.
Uh-huh.
This is how I get talked into things, and then people share like yarn sale links, and this is how I get talked into
That was me.
buying more yarn, like I think I'm getting talked into doing later today.
I'm
You
sorry.
know,
We cannot not do a yarn order.
I mean, yeah.
That's gotta happen today.
I
That
am
has
very
got to
easily
happen
convinced.
today. Do
So if you
you
would like to easily
have
convince
my
us into
bracelet?
doing things,
Oh my God, it's
join
so
Patreon
easy.
and get in the Discord.
So it is so easy. It's, hey, tag one of us. Have you looked at this? Her usual response is no, but we are now, and thank you, because what we need is more stuff on our plate today. If we didn't want to do
Obviously.
it, we wouldn't do it. Like it's that easy. Like if we didn't want to, we wouldn't.
Yeah.
We can't say no. So that's the thing. Patreon tiers. Woohoo. Budgets, they're a real life thing. We totally understand. Prices will be changing as of the 1st of November. Already mentioned that. There's not a lot of tweaks going on. There is some new stuff going into a couple of tiers because we lowered the price of the two lowest tiers, or it's looking like we're going to go that way. Again, Patreon members are currently voting right now. Overwhelmingly, they're voting to buy us a cup of coffee a month.
I like coffee.
So, I mean, I'm not going to say no. I like coffee as well. However, we do understand budgets. Well, yeah, they're a thing. They're absolutely a thing. If you cannot financially support liking, subscribing, commenting here on YouTube, as well as interacting with us on other social media platforms, is a great way not only to show us your love, but to show us what you're working on. What do we have going on admin wise? Oh my God. Okay. Summer solstice is wrapping up in September. Everybody keep in mind that means we're into the last 20-ish plus days of summer solstice work because the fall equinox is on the 22nd, I believe. I'm gonna have to double
Something like
check
that.
that.
I don't
Something
know.
it's in the 20s. It's in the low 20s. It's either 20 or 22nd. I'm gonna have to check a date on that. We are 60-ish days to Halloween, so I start to get a little Halloween crazy at this point. We have the Little Long, which will be running until the end of December. So much going on, Diana. I just listed three things.
I definitely just dug up my little long sweater like yesterday, I think. I'm like, oh yeah, that's still going on.
Oh
So
yeah, that's
that's
still
now
going
more
on.
visible because if I bury things in a pile, they cease to exist.
Object permanence is a problem for you.
Yep.
Yep, it's a thing.
I know this about myself. I try to
That's
mitigate.
fine. It's we all have that. If we put it away somewhere safe, we're gonna lose it. If
Hmm.
we're busy, it's just our way of saying we're not in the mood to do that right now. And yeah. If it's something boring, we will put it off. Pro procrastinators.
Oh yeah.
I don't think we have anything else in the way of going ons. You are obviously doing a talk in Chicago during the Manitoba Fiber Festival, so you will not be with me this year, so it'll just be me there. And
Yep.
then
I
we
gotta go do career
have
things or something.
you
I
do
don't
have to
know.
go do career things. We have craft off voting this coming weekend because our
Hmm.
monthly live will be the 1st of September. So it's exciting. Like our monthly live is like the first of the month. Oh, so
Yeah.
good.
Loving that lines
So
up.
good.
Oh, and I will be at the KW Knitters Fair this year because it's a week later than
Oh,
they usually do it. It's usually the same weekend as
excellent.
Manitoba, but
But if
it
it's
is
a
a
week
week later
later,
this year, which means I'm actually going to be here to do it.
hot
And
dang.
I'm
I
volunteering,
love
and I
it.
think I'm going to be in their fashion shows, so that's
Do it
fun.
up. Oh, that'll be fun. I'm
Yeah.
Diana's personal shopper and booth babe for Fireweed Fabric Co. So like I'm already booked for the weekend. Between those two tasks, I'm quite full up on things. But if you see me, stop me, so we can chat. Otherwise, I think we're good. I think that's it.
I think so.
Oh, my check-in with Louise is on Wednesday, the first
Mm.
week, because she's busy on Thursday and Friday. I'll be at the Fiber Festival. So we have a lot of stuff upcoming. Oh my God. Okay, cool. I'm gonna do an outro because now I'm panicking about deadlines. So I'm gonna say until next week, I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm Diana.
And no matter where your week takes you, don't forget to
Don't forget
knit.
to knit.